Hey guys, as you can see, no TV this week. Had a bit of an issue, but there's one other thing we can try. Let me just focus here. Hey, it worked. Can you believe it? All right, and I guess we can get going now. Check this out. Isn't this cool? Well, welcome to week 4 of Herb Appeal Trivia, the show that once again proves that you can be happy to see someone, because I'm happy to see all of you, and have a banana in your pocket. But more on that later. If you don't know me, my name is John Chezik, and I run Herb Appeal Tours. If you're not familiar with Herb Appeal Tours, we are the #1 tour company in Detroit, according to my mom. Hi, Mom. My dad is back to preferring backseat tours with Joe Kraus. Joe Kraus! All right. Well, before we get started, I'd like to give a big thank you to this week's sponsor, Pete McGrath and Savills. If you're not familiar with Pete and Savills, Savills is a real estate brokerage which Pete works for. And so if you have commercial real estate that you'd like tenants for, or if you're a business looking for commercial real estate, hit up my boy Pete, who I'm pretty sure is subsidizing the show just so he can keep winning. If you would like to sponsor the show and get a ringing endorsement like the one you just heard, hit me up at hello@herbappealtours.com. I'd also like to give a huge thank you to my 2 very good friends who are helping out behind the camera, behind where you guys are sitting. And their names are Nick and Sarah. Sarah and Nick are not only nice enough to help me out with this show, but they live below me, and they don't seem to mind whenever I eat their food.
You've been eating our food?
Well, let's move on. All right, let's get started with the trivia. If you haven't already, go to crowd.live/herbappeal on your second device, and that's where you're going to enter in your answers. We're going to do 2 games today. Both of them are going to have 15 questions, and there's a time component. So the faster you can get that correct answer, and the more points you're going to get. Now, the person with the most points at the end of each game is going to be the winner. But we're giving out prizes to 3 different people today, not just first place. We're going to go 13th place is going to get $5 to Boro Resale, which, if you're not familiar with, is a fantastic resale shop in the Eastern Market area. And right now, obviously, they can't have customers in, so they're doing a lot of stuff on Instagram and online. So check them out. If you scroll down to the description of this video, there should be their Instagram handle. So definitely check them out. Also check out Ochre Bakery, which is also down there, because if you get second place, you're going to get that $5 from Boro and $5 from Ochre. Ochre is a fantastic bakery on Grand River, and they just started doing Saturday pickup, so you can place your order online and then go pick it up on Saturdays, and you can get $5 if you get second place today. Now, first place is getting both of those gift certificates and a free walking tour with yours truly. One of last week's winners, Will McDowell, actually has decided to transfer that walking tour into a bar tour, which those of you that know me know I am 100% okay with that being the case. All right, you guys ready for the trivia? I know I am, so we're going to get started. Question 1. What is the largest city in Macomb County in terms of population? Is it A, Macomb Township? Is it B, Warren? Is it C, Clinton Charter Township? Or is it D, Sterling Heights? Well, Macomb County obviously had a big role in the 2016 election. Maybe they will again this year. But the city with the biggest population is B, Warren, with a population of 134,587. Just kind of barely edging out Sterling Heights there by only about 5,000 people. All right, on to question 2. What is the state tree of Michigan? Is it A, a Douglas fir? Is it B, a white pine? Is it C, a sugar maple? Or is it D, a weirwood tree? All of these trees are things. One of them stands above the other as the state tree of Michigan. And that correct answer is B, white pine. Although Michigan is definitely in the north, I haven't seen any weirwood trees around. And honestly, I'm still kind of ticked off about those last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. I don't know if any of you watched them, but they sucked. But hopefully the new books will make up for that if they ever come out, which isn't looking likely. All right, on to question 3. Enough bitching. What 2 former mayors of Detroit are there statues of in Grand Circus Park? Is it A, Andrew Mack and Levi Cook? Is it B, Coleman Young and Dennis Archer? Is it C, Hazen Pingree and William Mayberry? Or is it D, Kwame Kilpatrick and Alfred Cobo? So we're looking for the mayors that have statues in Grand Circus Park, so right near Comerica. And the correct answer there is C, Hazen Potato Patch Pingree and William Cotter Mayberry. What's funny about them eternally staring at each other from across Woodward is actually when they were alive, they hated each other. So misery loves company, I suppose. Not sure that idiom fits there. Let's take a look at this leaderboard. We're 3 questions in. So, in first place with 276 points is Robbie Lynn, my boy Robbie. In second place is Kyle Sachinsky with 231 points. Sorry, I gotta scroll down here. And in 13th place, right now in line to get that $5 to borrow is Breckles. So, Breckles, wherever you are, good job. All right, let's say we get back to the action here. Question 4. Who designed the Spirit of Detroit? Was it A, Eric Magnus? Was it B, Marshall Fredericks? Was it C, Charles Xavier? Or was it D, Major Fuddrucker? So we're looking for who designed the Spirit of Detroit. It's a guy that goes kind of like this. He's a little less muscular than I am, though. Just kidding. But the correct answer is B, Marshall Fredericks, although Eric Magnus and Charles Xavier are the real quote-unquote real names of Magneto and Professor X, who I think could have an easier time creating the 27-foot tall bronze statue using their mutant powers. That's just one man's opinion. On to question 5. What year did General Motors purchase the Renaissance Center? Was it A, 1989? Was it B, 1995? Was it C, 1999? Or was it D, 1996? Again, we're looking for the year GM bought the Rensen. Not the year it was built or anything like that. The year it was bought by GM. And that correct answer is D, 1996. The building was actually initially spearheaded by Henry Ford II, who was Henry Ford's grandson. Henry had Edsel, who had Henry, who then had Edsel. You can remember that with he, as in he. That's a funny way to name your family. Enough jokes, though. On to question 8. How large is Belle Isle in terms of acres? Is it A, 1,003? Is it B, 763? Is it C, 491? Or is it D, 982? So hopefully you've been to Belle Isle before. If not, definitely make it part of your to-do list. And maybe if you go, you'll learn that the correct answer is D, 982 acres, which actually makes it about 15% larger than New York's Central Park. So again, pretty big park. So believe it or not, that is another 3 questions in the books here. So we are going to take a look at this leaderboard. So in 13th place is Kyle Sachinsky, right now in line for that borrow $5. In second place, in line for both gift certificates, is Rebecca Grossman. Great job, Rebecca. And in first place with 459 points is Robbie Lynn. Definitely see some other familiar faces. Will McDowell, former winner, is back there in 5th. My dad is in 7th. Great job, Dad. And Jessica Bondolapati is there in 6th place. So really anybody's game. Pretty close scores here. Let's get back to the action. All right, question 7. What kind of mine is there beneath the city of Detroit? Is it A, quartz? Is it B, coal? Is it C, salt? Or is it D, gold? We're looking for what kind of mine is below the city of Detroit? Pretty huge mine. It's actually one of my goals in life is to make it down there. But so far, no luck. If any of you can help me out, hit me up. Let's go find the answer, though, and that correct answer is C, salt, which might explain why some of you out there are so damn salty. Let's move on to question 8. Who devised the street plan for quote-unquote modern Detroit in 1806? Was it A, Julius Gratiot? Was it B, Brutus Livernois? Was it C, Augustus Woodward? Or was it D, Caligula 7 Mile? Again, looking for who put out the plan for Detroit in 1806. Talked about him in the past. And the answer is C, Augustus Woodward. Like I said, I've talked to him in the past about what kind of a weirdo this guy was, changing his name from Elias to Augustus. But also, when he laid out this plan, people thought it was kind of tacky for him to name the main street after himself. But his response was, no, no, no. That's not Woodward like my last name. Au contraire. That street goes towards the woods, so it's Woodward. Don't know if anybody bought it. I highly doubt it. That's not a very good lie. Let's move on. Question 9. In what year did the Book Cadillac originally open? Was it A, 1929? Was it B, 1924? Was it C, 1933? Or was it D, 1919? Definitely in the first half of the 20th century there. All those years were big in Detroit, but only one of them is the correct answer. That one just so happens to be B, 1924. That is also why, if you go to the current Westland Book Cadillac, on the Michigan Avenue side, on the ground floor, there's a restaurant called 24 to Grill, and that 24 represents 1924. Well, we are just flying through this first game here. That's another 3 questions, so let's take a look at this leaderboard. So in first place, holding strong is Robbie Lynn, 739 points. Second place is Rebecca Grossman with 672 points. Will McDowell's right there in the mix with 554. And in 13th place, currently in line for that's $5 Subaru, is Anna Silverstein. Some more familiar faces in there. My boy Connor's up there. Kyle's in there. Ankur, who's played, I believe, every week. Welcome back, Ankur. Got you in there at, 8th place. So good job, everybody. Hopefully you guys are having a good time. I'm having a great one. What do you say we get back to the trivia, though? Question 10. How many American League pennants have the Detroit Tigers won? Is it A, 13? Is it B, 11? Is it C, 19? Or is it D, 17? So again, looking for the number of American League pennants that the Tigers have won. Obviously, it's in double digits, but there will be one answer, and that one just so happens to be B, 11. Speaking of 11, we are on question 11. What famous statue is there a recreation of in front of the DIA? Is it A, the Sphinx? Is it B, Venus de Milo? Is it C, the Thinker? Or is it D, Christ the Redeemer? So, all great statues, but only one of them is in front of the DIA. That one just so happens to be C, the Thinker. The statue was put there in 1922 and financed by Horace Rackman, one of the original stockholders of Ford Motor Company. So he may be Horace Rackman. I'm more of a buttman. Let's move on to question 12. In what neighborhood or district is the Red Bull House of Art? Is it A, downtown? Is it B, Eastern Market? Is it C, North End? Or is it D, Midtown? Red Bull House of Art, cool place to check out art. Little pro tip, a lot of times their parties have open bars, so I've been to a couple of them. But the correct answer is that it's B, it's in Eastern Market, right around the corner from Boro Resale. So you can do some shopping, check out some art, obviously after the quarantine's over. Let's move on to question number lucky 13. Which of these bars or restaurants is not in Hamtramck? Is it A, the Painted Lady? Is it B, Buddies? Is it C, Polish Village? Or is it D, Bumbo's? Hamtramck, great place for food, great place for drinks, great place for people. I just like Hamtramck in general. But one thing it doesn't have is B, Buddies. A lot of people think that Buddies, that original Buddies, is in Hamtramck, but it's actually just on the other side of the border and technically in Detroit. So we are getting close to the end of the game here. So from here on out, we're going to check this leaderboard after every question just so you guys know exactly where you stand. Let's do that right now. All right, first place, Robbie Lynn, 926. Just behind him, only by 36 points behind him, is Rebecca Grossman. Will McDowell still in the mix, 817. Down there in 13th, Sammy Barbour. He really wants that Boro. Jimmy Howard, former Red Wings goalie in the mix. Oh, he's current. Interesting. I'm not the biggest hockey fan. I'm not going to lie to you. But, oh, Miriam Pranchke. Look at you. 4th place. Way to go, Miriam. All right. Let's get back to the action. 2 questions to go. Can you guys catch Robbie Lynn? All right. Question 14. Who was the 2nd governor of the state of Michigan? Is it A, Stevens T. Mason? Is it B, William Woodbridge? Is it C, Alpheus Finch? Or is it D, Henry H. Crapo? Again, looking for the 2nd governor of the state of Michigan. And that just so happens to be B, William Woodbridge. That's also for whom the neighborhood of Woodbridge is named. Also, just I'd like to give a side note here. If you've played with me in the past, or even earlier in this current game, I have a penchant for making up funny names as incorrect answers. But I assure you, Henry H. Crapo is not a made-up name. Well, I guess all names are made up, but he is actually a former governor of the state of Michigan. So let's take a look at his leaderboard. I got a feeling Robbie did go down. Robbie lives in Woodbridge. Didn't get that one right. So maybe he did, just didn't do it fast enough. 1st place, Rebecca Grossman. Way to go, Rebecca. That is 966 points. 2nd place, 926 points. Robbie Lynn. Robbie, you live in Woodbridge, man. What happened? 3rd, Miriam Pranchke. Way to go, Miriam. And let's see who's in line for the Borrow $5 at 13th place is Teresa Kolchicki. I don't know. My last name's hard to pronounce too, and I'm probably butchering that. So if I am Teresa, I apologize. But way to go. Hopefully you stay in there to get that $5 from Borrow. All right. Drum roll. Brrr. Last question. Which of these breweries is not in the city of Detroit? Is it A, Motor City Brewing Works? Is it B, Batch Brewing? Is it C, Woodward Avenue Brewers? Or is it D, Eastern Market Brewing Company? Again, looking for the one that's not in Detroit. And that one just so happens to be C, Woodward Avenue Brewers, which is in Ferndale. Let's take a look at our final standings, see who wins what. All right, in 1st place, taking home the free walking tour, $5 to Borrow, $5 to Ochre, is Rebecca Grossman. In 2nd place, taking home both gift certificates, but no walking tour, Robbie, you blew it, is Robbie Lynn. Robbie's a good friend of mine. I can razz him. And in 13th, taking home $5 to Borrow, is Colette Aptet. So a little French influence there. I like it. See, Jimmy Howard apparently is taking some time off his schedule to play with us. Daryl Cook, Metro Cars driver extraordinaire, is in the mix. Kyle Sachinsky. We got a lot of cool people in the mix today. 56 players, guys. Thanks for spreading the word. All right. Well, now if you watched last week, we do a little thing I like to, in between games. We do a little thing I like to call Ask John. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. So this time, if you have any questions you want to ask me, go in the chat down there. Whoa. Go down in the chat and throw a few questions my way. I'll answer them. My mom is watching, so let's try and keep them PG-13 here. Again, way to go, Rebecca. I'm sure a few seconds behind, so go ahead and put those in as soon as you can, because I need some questions. Favorite Detroit taco? Great question, Will. I don't know. I'm probably going to have to go. The one I go to the most, because it's very close, is Lupita, right over in Mexican Town. But, I mean, there's so many good. The taco truck. If there's a taco truck that is in front of Motor City Wine during normal times. Have I ever been to the Pink Pony? Have you been to the Pink Pony before? Where's the Pink Pony? It sounds familiar, but it's possible that I've been there and don't remember. Can you see Charlie? Charlie is in bed right now. I'm not going to wake him up because then he'll be just going crazy the whole time. If you guys don't know, Charlie is my very small dog. All right, now Rebecca wants tacos. It's on your shirt. And the Mackinac Island. Yes, I have been to the best been to the Pink Pony on Mackinac Island, and yes, I'm wearing the shirt. Best fries in Detroit. This one I've done thorough research on. I'd have to go, if I can only pick one, the waffle fries at, what is the place called? Andrews on the Corner. The waffle fries at Andrews on the Corner. They're like double battered and they're waffle fries. It's the way to go. Would I rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? Classic Reddit question here. I'm gonna go with 100 duck-sized horses. I feel like I could just use one of them as a weapon and just clear them out with long sweeps. Gotta have Nancy whiskey fries. I'm sure I've had them at some point, just don't stick out. How did I get so handsome? I don't know. God just likes me more than other people, I guess. All right, that's enough. Oh, the sound of that beer cracking means that we are on ready for game 2. Are you guys ready? Because I am. And I'm the one in control here. So we're doing it. Question 1. What big box department store did Sebastian Kresge start? So Sebastian Kresge started Kresge's, which was a dime store downtown Detroit. Was it A, Kmart? Was it B, Costco? Was it C, Walmart? Or was it D, BJ's? Again, started Kresge's dime store downtown, went on to open up a much larger chain. Which was it? Correct answer is A, Kmart. The first Kmart actually was not in the Detroit area. It wasn't even in Michigan. It was in California. Which is kind of interesting. On to question 2. What city is the headquarters of Fiat Chrysler of America in? Is it A, Pontiac? Is it B, Troy? Is it C, Auburn Hills? Or is it D, Southfield? So obviously it's in Oakland County. You've probably seen the headquarters driving north on I-75. But what city is that actually in? That's what I'm asking you here. The correct answer is C, Auburn Hills. All right, on to question 3. How many representatives does Michigan have in the U.S. House of Representatives? Is it A, 19? Is it B, 18? Is it C, 14? Or is it D, 12? So again, looking for the number of representatives in the House of Representatives, not in Congress as a whole, which makes the answer C, 14. Now, I'm sure, hopefully you know that the number of representatives we have is based on our population, which is determined by the census. Census happens once every 10 years. And do you know when the next one's happening? Right now. Fill that out so Michigan can get all the representation it deserves and all the funding it deserves. You're stuck at home, just fill it out. It takes like 5 minutes. Or get Nick to fill it out for you. That's what I did. All right, that's 3. Can you believe it? 3 questions in game 2 already? Take a look at this leaderboard. I think I'm going to have to scroll down here again. Yep. All right. So in first place, familiar face, Aaron Schwartz, 287 points. Second place, Mr. B, 268 points. Close right behind is Miriam Pranchke, 264 points. My boy Omar's in the mix. My stepfather Dan is in the mix. Lots of good people in here. We've got 13th place, my uncle Mike. Mike Chesnick at 13th. Hopefully get a hold there so we can get that $5 to borrow resale. But let's get to question 4. What was the former name of Paradise Valley Park in downtown Detroit? Was it A, Harmony Park? Was it B, Hidden Valley Park? Was it C, Melody Park? Or was it D, Parallel Park? One of those is a joke. Maybe you can figure out which one. Maybe you can't. That's okay. The correct answer is A, Harmony Park, which was named for a German singing club called the Harmony Club. Detroit and Michigan as a whole has a lot of German influence. The eastern side of what we now call downtown Detroit was originally called Germantown. Or not originally, but was once called Germantown. All right, on to question 5. What year was the Dodge Fountain in Hart Plaza built? Was it A, 1981? Was it B, 1973? Was it C, 1992? Or was it D, 1985? Looking for the year it was built. Of course, it's the big silver thing in Hart Plaza, kind of looks like a UFO. It looks like to me anyways. But the correct answer is A, 1981. It was paid for by Anna Thompson Dodge in memory of her husband and son. Two different people, not the same person, that'd be weird. And designed by Isamu Noguchi, so he's a pretty famous sculptor. All right, on to question, my eyes are getting bad in my old age. Question 6. What are the call letters of Fox 2 Detroit? Is it A, WJBK? Is it B, WWJD? Is it C, WXYZ? Or is it D, WRIF? So again, look for the call letters of Fox 2 Detroit. You know it? I know it because I'm looking at the answer right now. It is A, WJBK. WJBK was actually originally a CBS affiliate before. It was much later purchased by Fox, originally opened in 1948. That is another 3 in the books. I feel like we're flying through these. Hopefully you guys are having a good time because I am. Let's take a look at these rankings. First place, staying strong, is Aaron Schwartz. Second place, Rachel Friedenberg with 459 points, only about 21 points behind Aaron. In 13th place, my boy Daryl Cook. We got some other familiar faces in the mix. Everybody's doing a great job. What up, Talil? I see you. Let's get going with question 7. In what year was Motown Records founded? Is it A, 1961? Is it B, 1953? Is it C, 1959? Or is it D, 1963? Again, looking for the year it was actually founded. And that answer is C, 1959. Founded of course, by Berry Gordy, probably you know that, with an $800 loan from his family. Couldn't get a loan from the bank, so he got it from his family. And he sold it in 1988 for $61 million, which is a pretty good return on that initial $800 investment, if you ask me. All right, on to question 8. What building downtown has a mural featuring humpback whales? Is it A, the Madison Building? Is it B, the David Whitney Building? Is it C, the Book Tower? Or is it D, the Broderick Tower? So which one has those big whales? You can see them from Comerica Park. You can see them from a lot of places, really. But the correct answer is D, the Broderick Tower. It's a real whale of a building. Let's move on. Question 9. Who is the artist that created the Heidelberg Project? Is it A, Sheafy McFly? Is it B, Tyree Guyton? Is it C, Diego Rivera? Or is it D, Banksy? And the Heidelberg Project, if you don't know where it is on Heidelberg Street. So that's pretty easy to find. And the guy that created it, his name is B, Tyree Guyton. Tyree started the Heidelberg Project in 1986 after returning back to his home of Detroit from the Army. But also, if you go back to the incorrect answers, one of them is actually a newer Detroit artist named Sheafy McFly. So check his stuff out. I like it a lot. He's on Instagram, all that kind of good stuff. All right. Believe it or not, another 3 in the books. We're going to take a look at this leaderboard. In first place, staying strong. First 2 have not changed. Aaron Schwartz, 650 points. Second place, 628 points, is Rachel Friedenberg. Real close behind her. Oh, man, only 1 point separating second and third. And third is Sammy Barbour. Let's see who's getting that who's in 13th in line for that $5 to borrow. Shelly and Jerome Addison. So way to go, Addisons. Got some more familiar faces in there. Good to see everybody. Let's get back to the action here. Question 10. What is the name of the Tigers' feline mascot? Is it A, Moz? Is it B, Paws? Is it C, Claws? Or is it D, Tiger McBaseballface? So, which one is it? Been to the Tigers game, you'll see him on the dugout dancing with the cheerleaders. Are they cheerleaders in baseball? I don't know. Maybe they have a different name. But on the dugout dancing with young ladies. The correct answer is obviously D, Tiger McBaseballface. Just kidding. It is B, Paws. Question 11. I could hear my Uncle Mike yelling that was wrong from here, all the way from South Lyon. All right. On to question 11. Who is the current Wayne County executive? Is it A, Dave Bing? Is it B, Benny Napoleon? Is it C, Warren Evans? Or is it D, Alicia Bell? All these people are current or former local politicians, but only one is the current Wayne County executive, and that's what we're asking here. And that person just so happens to be C, Warren Evans. All right, moving on to question 12 here. What is the longest river in Michigan? Is it A, the Huron River? Is it B, the Muskegon River? Is it C, the Grand River? Or is it D, the Detroit River? Which one is the longest? Not your favorite one. That's subjective. We're looking for the longest. And that one just so happens to be C, the Grand River. It's even longer than its father, the Great Grand River. Sarah liked it. Question 13. How many lions are depicted on the Detroit flag? Is it A, 4? Is it B, 5? Is it C, 3? Or is it D, 2? So you're picturing it in your head. Think of the upper right quadrant. How many lions are there? They represent England. That doesn't help you too much, but they do. The correct answer is actually C3. Now, if you watched 2 weeks ago, you'll know why I wish it was D2, because we like to do the D2 Mighty Ducks chant. But you know what? This is my freaking show. I'll chant what I want to chant. Quack, 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 quack. All right, on to question 14. Which of these rappers is not affiliated or is not known for being from the Detroit area? Is it A? I'm all hyped up from that quack chant. A, Eminem. B, Lupe Fiasco. C, Danny Brown. Or D, Big Sean. Detroit's always been a hotbed for hip-hop talent. Many more people besides the ones listed here. Well, one of them's not from here, obviously, but check it out. Do your own research. Answer is B, Lupe Fiasco, who hails from Chicago, or more commonly known as the Big Apple. All right, so end of this second game here. We're going to take a look at the leaderboard every time from now on, every question. First place, jumping up, my boy Sammy Barbour, 965 points. Second place, 889 points. Rachel Friedenberg, Miriam Pranchke's in the mix. Drew Bisquian is in the mix. Will McDowell is still within striking range. Let's see who's in 13th place. Rachel Charlupski. Love to see a new face in there, I believe. So way to go, Rachel. Hopefully you can hold on or even move up. Final question. Interesting. Yeah, I thought we had 2 more. I'm having too much fun here. Sorry, guys. Question 15. Which Grosse Pointe is partially in Macomb County? Is it A, Grosse Pointe Shores? Is it B, Grosse Pointe Woods? Is it C, Grosse Pointe Farms? Or is it D, Grosse Pointe Park? There's 5 Grosse Pointes, and one of them is partially in Macomb County. And that just so happens to be A, Grosse Pointe Shores. So that's the end of game 2. Let's look at this final standings here. See who won what. In 13th, taking home $5 to Boro Resale is my boy Robbie Lynn, 724 points. In second place, Drew Bisquian taking home $5 to Ochre, $5 to Boro. Way to go, Drew. In first place, taking home both gift certificates, a free walking tour, and the pride of knowing he did a great job. Sammy Barbour. Well, I'd like to thank you guys for joining us for our 4th Urban Appeal Trivia. I think we're getting better. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think we did great, what you think we did not so great. And if I don't want to hear it, I'll just won't listen. Big shout out to Pete McGrath and Savills for sponsoring, Ochre for providing gift certificates, Boro Resale for providing gift certificates. Be sure to tell your friends, your family, whoever, your enemies, your neighbors. Join us next week for more Detroit trivia. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy. You guys know the drill. Oh man, why are bananas so hard to open? Stay hungry.